Okay, now we're going to review subtracting mixed numbers with regrouping. So it's subtracting mixed numbers. Okay, and so the steps are pretty much the same as adding fractions. The only difference is you have to regroup. So our example that we are going to do is we are going to do 7 and 1/7 minus 3 and 6/14. And that's going to be our example. The first step is to find the least common denominator, and we use the process of least common multiple. So I'm going to make a multiplication chart, 7 and 14, and 1, 2, 3. 7 times 1 is going to give me 7. 7 times 2, 14. 7 times 3, 21. 14 times 1 is 14. I'm going to stop there because I already notice that I have a least common multiple. So the least common denominator I'm going to have in this problem is going to be 14. So my second step is to make equivalent fractions. So I have 7 and 1/7 plus 3. Oh, no, made a mistake. It is minus, there we go, minus 3 and 6/14. And I'm going to set them equal to a fraction that has the same whole numbers, but the denominator is going to be 14. So now I just go ahead and make equivalent fractions. So 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 2 is 2. 14 times 1 is 14. 6 times 1 is going to be 6. Now the third step says to subtract, but I see I have a problem. The problem that I have is that I cannot take 6 away from 2. So that tells me I need to regroup. So we're going to go ahead and regroup on the next thing. So we had our equivalent fraction was 7 and 2/14 minus 3 and 6/14. Now, this is the case where we have to regroup. And so we're going to take 1 away from a whole number, and it becomes a 6. And we take, that 1 doesn't go anywhere. We just make it look like a fraction. And the fraction is going to have the same numerator and denominator as the original denominator, which is 14. So we have 14/14. So then we're going to add that, and we're going to get 6 and 16/14. And if I wanted to check my work, I can simplify 6 and 16/14, and it should take me back to my original. That's if I want to simplify to check my work. But in this case, I just need to leave it as it is. So now I can subtract, and I'm a visual person, so I have to move this over so I can see it underneath each other. And so when I subtract, I get 6 minus 3 gives me 3. My denominator is going to be 14. And then 16 minus 6 gives me 10. I'm not done yet because step 4 says to simplify. So now I need to simplify. So I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. And the greatest common factor of 10 and 14, we can use rainbows to find it. So we have 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. And if we do 14, 1 times 14 is 14. 2 times 7 is 14. And so when we look for our common factors, we have 2 in common, 1 in common, but that's it. So my greatest common factor is 2. So I'm going to divide my numerator and denominator by 2 halves. And I get my final answer as 3 5/7. Remember to follow your steps and the steps for subtracting fractions. Step 1 is to find the least common denominator. Step 2 is to make equivalent fractions. Step 3 is to subtract, but we also have to regroup. And the last step is to simplify. That's a big step. Okay, I am signing off. Have a good day.